boot up the stream, it's the cash flow show. Every day I'm live and I let you know there's a better way to get that cash, not chasing clicks that disappear so fast. You gave your time to the algorithm, but the rules keep changing, you can't win them. You need a lane that you own for real, so your knowledge turns into a deal. On the cash flow path, yeah, we're breaking free from the rented reach and the mystery. Build your own space where your people stay, private community that pays your way. On the cash flow path, watch your value grow, turn your wisdom into profit flow. Every daily live, I'm laying it out straight. Over 40 creators, it's never too late. YouTube views, they rise then fall. Ads and brands, they can ghost your call. But when you own the room where you teach, your best buyers are within your reach. No hype talk, just a simple plan. Step by step, yeah, we walk it hand in hand. Our public feeds where you're just a guest, to your own platform where you're truly blessed. On the cash flow path, yeah, we're breaking free from the rented reach and the mystery. Build your own space where your people stay, private community that pays your way. On the cash flow path, watch your value grow, turn your wisdom into profit flow. Every daily live, I'm laying it out straight. Over 40 experts, it's never too late. No more waiting on a viral break. No more hoping that the sponsors pay. You got knowledge they can't replace. Time to move into your own safe place. Technique simple, I clear the noise. Show you tools that fit real lives and joys. You bring the fire, I bring the frame. We build a home around your name. On the cash flow path, yeah, we're breaking free from the rented reach and the mystery. Build your own space where your people stay, private community that pays your way. On the cash flow path, watch your value grow, turn your wisdom into profit flow. Every daily live, I'm laying it out straight. Over 40 creators, it's never too late. It's the cash flow path, come and take your turn on your income from the way you learn. Day by day on the live stream screen, we cash in on the value you've always been.
Welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday to you. Welcome to the Cash Flow Path, where I show people that are 40 and over how to better monetize your content, because you're not going to do it here. Despite what they will tell you and despite why they want you constantly creating content, you're very unlikely to monetize with any sort of certainty or any sort of predictability here on a social media channel. And the reason that is because, where is one of my favorites? This is what social media is. It is a super highway. And if you were watching on vertical, unfortunately, you're not going to get these slides. You're better off coming over to the horizontal feed. But the super highway is all about entertainment and distraction. It is not about the things that actually help get you paid. The things that help get you paid are problem solving and education. That's what gets you paid. You educate somebody about a problem that they have and you help them solve it. That's what gets you paid. Views, subscribers, they don't get you paid with any regularity unless you are a huge creator. And did you know, to make even $300 a month, you would have to average 600,000 views. That's right, I said 600,000 views every single month just to make $300, because the average educational creator, and that's really who I'm talking to. If you're not an educational creator, this probably isn't going to be for you. But my content in these lives are primarily for people over 40 who are making content and they're posting consistently, but the income is still flat, right? Or your content is solid, but you're still not growing and you're still not getting the reach. So if you can't grow, you can't get the reach, you can't get the views. And if you can't get the views, you can't get paid. And if you can't get the views, you also can't get brand deals because nobody knows you exist, right? And then the last person that these are for is you really do know your subject. You can make good quality content where people come out of that thing saying, this was really helpful, or thanks for solving this problem for me, but you don't know what to sell or how to structure it and sell it. Well, number one, you got to sell it off the platform. You can't sell it here. Why? Because YouTube is not set up for you to make money. YouTube is set up for them to have somebody creating content so people have more options. That's all YouTube is set up for. It's really not set up to reward you. It's set up to reward the platform because they don't have to create the content. You're doing it for them. And even if they do pay you, they don't have to pay you very much, right? So I forgot to say this at the top, but if you have any questions about any of what we are talking about here, where are my cues? There you go. That's how you ask a question. You put a Q, a colon, and then your question, and I will be happy to answer those questions. And if I don't know the answer, I'm not going to snow you and tell you I do. I'm going to try to find out. And I may end up making a piece of content and referencing you to say, hey, so-and-so asked this question, and here's the piece of content that answers it for them. Because at the end of the day, that's all you're really doing. You're being helpful to people. You're taking knowledge that you have, and what you're doing is solving a problem. I mentioned solving a problem before. That's all we're doing. We're solving a problem. Now, it was about 3.5 years ago, I saw this person on TikTok, believe it or not. Even though TikTok is entertainment and distraction, I actually found one person that had decent content on TikTok. And he showed me on a whiteboard basically this thing. And all he really had was like a circle with an A, a circle with a B, and I think I'm going backwards here. Yeah, a circle with an A, a circle with a B, right? And it was about getting people to that transformation or getting people to that I'm not sure. This thing mirrors on me. But that's all it was. And I've made it a little bit fancier, but it's just problem solving equals value, value equals money. All you need to do is get somebody from point A, right? Point A to point B. That's all you have to do. That's really what a business is. People are at a current state. They don't have a thing. They don't have knowledge. They don't have a result. And your job is to get them that result. Your job is not to sell them something because they don't want to buy anything. They want to solve a problem. And so if you come out here trying to sell them things, they're not going to listen. They're not interested because they're not here to buy something. But the whole nature of YouTube is to come and get information about something that you're interested in finding out more about. That's the whole purpose of YouTube. That's not the purpose of TikTok. That's not the purpose of Facebook or Instagram or any other platform. But on YouTube, that is the focus. That's why people come to YouTube. The only way you can see a video on YouTube is if you put it in the search, right? You put in the search, like, let's go here and I'll show you what I mean. You just put it in the search and you search what you're looking for. That's the only way that you can find content on YouTube. Now, with TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, you just scroll. right? But if you don't put anything in there that you're interested in, your feed won't return anything to you on YouTube. But let's go back to the problem with the platform, which is it is a super highway of information. And number one, you rent it. You do not own anything. I do not own my channel. You do not own your channel if you're creating content. YouTube owns your channel, or more accurately, Google owns your channel, right? TikTok owns your channel. Facebook owns your channel. You have no control. You have no control over who they show it to. You have no control over how many views you get. You have no control over how many followers or subscribers you get. You have no control over brand deals. You have no control over anything. They do. There's no guarantee you will wake up tomorrow and your account will still be here. And I know that because one day I woke up and my TikTok account with 44,000 followers was gone. That's right. TikTok allowed somebody to steal my account. And I can say that here. I can't say that there because they'll try to suppress me. That's why I don't go live and I don't even put content on TikTok anymore. Giant waste of time. But on YouTube, you have more control. You don't have total control, but you have much more control than you do over TikTok. And quite frankly, YouTube is the only platform that I personally have seen where they act like adults. YouTube doesn't care about links. YouTube doesn't care about you promoting links. YouTube doesn't care about you showing other places that people can go. They don't care about any of that stuff. TikTok is all butthurt if you leave the platform. Facebook is all butthurt if you leave the platform, and so is Instagram. But TikTok doesn't care. That's why I focus on, YouTube doesn't care. That's why I focus on YouTube. And YouTube is an actual search engine. Don't let anybody fool you telling you TikTok is a search engine. It's not. It's not. People don't go there for information. They come to YouTube or they go to Google. And Google, hello, YouTube is owned by Google. So this is where people come for information. So if you create the right type of content and you treat this content the right way, you can actually get people off of this super information highway. Because again, you don't own it. The algorithm decides, or more importantly, people that you have no control over decide. And it's just an endless stream of content. If you look, right now, this is my channel. This is my studio channel. But if I go to my channel, you'll see, even if somebody goes to my YouTube channel, what are they going to see? Right? Or if they go to home, what are they going to see? They're going to see so many videos you could not possibly watch them all. And you're going to get confused because you don't know what to watch and what not to watch. It's just this giant stream of content. And your job as a creator is to get people off of the superhighway. But the only way you can do that is you got to get them from going 80 miles an hour to an off-ramp. The off-ramp is your ownership of some place that you actually control. For example, so you got to get them off. You got to get them onto the on-ramp. And in my case, that's a community. A community is a place that you own, especially on school. If you're not familiar with school, if you are familiar with school, put it in the comments if you're familiar with school. If you are not, no worries. But I would be curious to find out who knows about school, who is familiar with it, anything like that. Anyone? I sound like the guy from Ferris Bueller. Anyone? Bueller. But so this is school. And if you're not familiar, think of a Facebook group that people actually want to come to. Think of a Facebook group where everything is seen by everybody. Because I don't know if you knew this or not, but with Facebook, if you have a Facebook group with 5,000 people in it, you will be lucky if 500 people see an individual post with an individual piece of content. What's up, Higgins? How are you? You'll be lucky if 1% of people see that content, right? So if that's the case, then a Facebook group is no longer valid for you. Now, the other thing Facebook doesn't have, Facebook does have a community, but again, nobody sees everything that's in a Facebook group. You can't even, there used to be the ability to scroll chronologically on Facebook. You can't even do that anymore. That's not even an option because they choose what you get to see. But with a school group, anything you post inside of your community or anything anyone else posts inside your community gets seen by every single person. So you do have total control. Now, here's something that Facebook never has and never will have. And this is a classroom where you can create educational pieces for people who specifically want to learn a specific skill or knowledge, right? Sorry, we were on the wrong page there. So let's recap. I tend to do that. I tend to forget that I'm on full screen as opposed to screen share. So this is a community. It kind of looks like a Facebook group or a Facebook feed, but everyone sees everything. And you can do by newest, right? So I just posted this at 5 o'clock. Or I'm sorry, 39 minutes ago, saying that I was going live at 5 o'clock. But here's the other thing too. Now that it's live, once this is over, I can get rid of that post. Just like I can get rid of this post from a couple days ago. Right? I can get rid of that. And so everything that is posted gets seen by every single person. You can have a classroom, and a classroom is where you help people figure out the step-by-step process to get the result that they want. Now, what your job is in content and in your community, your job, again, is to solve problems. The way you do that is, number one, you identify the problem for them. And that's what happens in a classroom most of the time. You are showing people, what the problem is they're trying to solve. And then, in our case, we're showing you how to specify who you're trying to solve that problem for. Because that is a very important part that a lot of people miss. A lot of people try to create something and they try to create it for everybody, as opposed to people who get super specific about who it's for, what problem it solves, and how it solves that problem. And if you can do that, and you can choose very tiny specific niches, you've probably heard from all these marketing gurus, you've probably heard the phrase, the riches are in the niches. Well, it is true. It is 100% true. Because I want you to think about this. If you are a general practitioner doctor, you'll probably make anywhere between $150,000 and $180,000. But if you specialize in the heart or in the spine or in the brain, right? Or whatever you specialize in, specialists get paid more money because they have not only the knowledge of the human body, but they have extreme knowledge about a specific section of the human body. So specialists get paid more. Just like if you had a time management say you had a time management digital product where you can help people manage their time better. Well, if you just sell that as a digital product, you might be able to sell that for $19.99, maybe, right? If you're really good and you're competing against everybody else who's got the same generic product, you might be able to sell it for like 19 bucks. But if it was for, let's say it was for salespeople, okay, now you might be able to get it to $69. But let's say it was for B2B salespeople. Okay, now you might be able to get it up to, I don't know, maybe $199, something like that. But if you said this is for B2B outdoor salespeople for farm equipment that is $10,000 or more, and you can show them how to save time, which is going to help them get more sales, one sale would be worth them paying $1,999 for that thing. So do you see the difference? You could sell that thing for $1,999 and ostensibly it's the same thing. But if you get really specific about who you're selling it to, it has more value. Because when people see something that is specifically for them, they don't wonder, oh, I wonder if that's going to be good for me. They immediately say, oh, this is exactly for me because that's exactly who I am. So specificity, getting super detailed about who your niche is, and that's what we do inside. I show you who and what to create. I show you how to create it. I show you how to create everything you're seeing here. I show you how to create that because it's not that difficult. It doesn't take programming or coding backgrounds, anything like that. And this thing is so geared for the 40 plus crowd. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable how this thing is geared for the 40 plus crowd. That's why most of my success stories are 40 plus, right? But these are people that were creating content, right? They were creating content, but they weren't making any money from it. They were going live on YouTube or they were going live on TikTok or whatever, but they weren't making any money from it until they figured out that you've got to own the space. And if you don't own the space, you have no chance in hell sorry, what happened there? You have no chance of controlling your income. You have none. So I'm going to wrap things up here in just a second. Let me just double check, see if there are any questions. I don't see any. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope you've gotten value out of this. And I hope you realize you're playing a losing game if you're trying to get paid by the platform. If you're trying to make money from AdSense, let me just show you what I mean. And we're going to use my channel as an example here. Because I've had some decent growth over the last, and I'm not going to say thousands or huge, but I've had some decent growth over the last, we'll say 30 days. All right, so where's the studio? That's what I want to go to. I want to go to the studio. All right. So if you see over here, my channel has really grown, right? The dashboard will tell you my channel has grown. I have increased my subscribers by 485 in the last 28 days. That's decent growth. That's 25% growth over from where I currently, or where I am versus where I was 28 days ago, right? It's decent growth. But here's the thing. Even though I have that many subscribers, I can't even get monetized on YouTube to begin with. And even if I was able to monetize on YouTube, even if I was able to do that, let me tell you the estimated earnings that I would have from my content. And by the way, I make a piece of recorded content and I go live like this every single day. So I put some serious time into this because traffic is my number one goal for my school group. I want to send people to my school group because that's my only focus. I don't have a website. I don't have a landing page. I don't have lead magnets. I don't have all of that digital marketing jazz. I don't have any of that stuff. I literally just have a place off of YouTube where I can send people. And by the way, you don't need to be on every platform. That is a fallacy. I know Gary Vee says be on all the platforms. That's great. You don't have to. Alex Hormozy is a perfect example. And if you don't know who Alex is, by the way, let me show you Alex. There he is. Hey, Alex. How you doing, buddy? And I'll put that on the, there you go, Alex. So he says, and I firmly believe this, that you do not need to be on all platforms. He says you can get to $1 million a year with just one platform. You don't need all of them. And there's some people on school that are proving this right. There's some people on there. Now, if you repurpose the same stuff that you do on one platform to another, great. But what I would never do is I would never create different pieces of content for different platforms. And again, find the one where all of your traffic comes from and just focus on that. Just focus on that. And you can do that with one platform. Let me show you. So this guy, let me find Nick. This guy, all right, he has 2,300 people paying him $184 a month. Yes, I said $184 a month, and that is 2.3 thousand people. Now let's look at Nick. Yes, Nick's got Twitter. Nick's got Instagram. Let's look at Nick's Instagram. Yes, Nick has a ton of followers on Instagram. But you know where most of his traffic comes from? And you know what he does? He creates content on his YouTube and then he repurposes it on Instagram. Because here, these 493,000 subscribers are worth way more than the 600,000 that he's got on Instagram. And this just takes people to his school group. Same thing I just pointed you to, right? And he tells people what's in his school group. He tells them what they're going to get, tells them what the promise is, and then they join his community. And that's all there is to it. He literally sends people from his YouTube to his school community. There's nothing complicated about it. So instead of trying to be on all platforms and sell 45 different things, just find one platform where your people are hanging out, because this is important. You got to fish where they're biting. If I tried to catch, I'm trying to think of it. If I tried to catch, gosh, I don't know. It's been so long since I've been fishing. But if I were trying to catch a saltwater fish, right? Let's say I was trying to catch, let's say sheep's head. And if you don't know what a sheep's head is, it's this fish with like black and white stripes. And so it looks like a zebra, but it's got these teeth that look human. It's really, really freaky. But they're only in salt water. If I went fishing for sheep's head in a freshwater pond, I'm not going to catch any. Just like you can't catch fish if you're not fishing in the right place. So if all your people are hanging out on YouTube and the best audience is on YouTube, why the hell would you waste your time on TikTok? Why would you waste your time there? It's pointless, right? Most of TikTok has the lowest income capacity to buy anything. They're the youngest platform in terms of viewers. They're the least serious people on social media of any platform. So why wouldn't you just go to YouTube, or if you want to go straight to the source of professional people, if that's who you're targeting, go to LinkedIn, right? Go where the most serious people are. And this is where it's so important for you to decide who it is I want to speak to. Because what a lot of people do is a lot of people just want to try to get anyone to buy their stuff, right? They just want anybody to buy their stuff. And that's a huge problem. Because when you target the lowest common denominator, when you target those people, you have people that they're tire kickers. They're freebie seekers. I used to have a community. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find my old community. Oh, where are we here? Let's see, can I find my old community? I don't think I have it anymore. Here it is, okay? So at one time, this community that I had, can I even look at it? Oh, I got to reactivate it. But at one time, this community had 750 people in it, but it was free. And the problem with a free community is you attract tire kickers. You don't want tire kickers. I would much rather have, instead of 750, or in this case, 687, I would much rather have this 85 people who at least are willing to pay the monthly cover charge of $7 to get in the door. I would much rather have that than I would 687 tire kickers. Because the value of the member is much higher in a paid group. Because those who pay attention. And those who pay are serious about getting results because they're putting their money where their mouth is. They've got some skin in the game. And if they don't, you don't want them. Trust me. I made that mistake. I created 2 communities that started out free, and I got nothing but freebie seekers and freeloaders. That's all I got. And see, there's a double-edged sword with freebie seekers. Not only do they not participate, not only do they not do what you suggest they do, they don't get any results. They don't become good testimonials, and they don't become good affiliates for you. Why? Because they don't value it. You know, I had lots of friends of mine who had really high-priced cars in high school because their parents bought them. Well, my parents weren't in a situation where they could afford to buy me. And when I'm talking nice cars, I'm talking our high school parking lot was filled with brand new BMWs, Mercedes, what else? Audis, Porsches. Yeah, I had a friend of mine, 17 years old. She had a brand new white Porsche 911. And that's what she drove to school. Now, my parents were never in that kind of stratosphere. So I had a 74 Ford Grand Torino. And I took care of that car. Now, these other ones, they'd go out, they'd drink, they'd get in an accident, and they'd total that car, and they didn't care because mom and dad were going to buy them another one. But I took care of my car because I knew that I paid for it, so I valued it. And it's the same way with a community. right? The same way. People who pay attention. People who pay value what you're doing. People who pay show up. And I'll give you another perfect example of this. I was in a community where it was $67 a month at the time that I joined. And because I was unemployed at the time that I got into this community to learn what I'm sharing with you now, I did not miss an opportunity to learn or get results. I never missed that opportunity because I was paying for it. And truth be told, because I was unemployed and I had no source of income, I couldn't afford for it not to be valuable to me. It had to work. It had to be valuable. I had to get something out of this. So I showed up for every live call that was scheduled. I went through every training module, even though some of them were 45 and 50 minutes at a time. I went through every training module. I went to every live call. I completed every homework assignment. And that only happened with me and 6 other people. There were 400 people in this group. 400, right? 400 plus in this group. And only 7 of us came to every call, completed every homework assignment, and watched all the videos. Only 7 of us out of 400. But you know what? Every single one of us that did that has a successful school community today because we actually did the work. See, so many of the things that people learn, whether it's courses, whether it's communities, whatever it is, it all works, but 90% of people won't do the work. Because the community or the course can't do the work for you. And most of the courses are useless anyway, because they're just repurposed AI garbage. But it can't do the work for you. And that's the purpose of a community, is to help you when you are stuck in doing the work. That's the purpose of a community. And so when you looked at my little scorecard, if you will, inside of that group, this is exactly what it looked like. I completed 100% of every module. I completed every single one. And at the end of each video, when it was suggested, okay, do this, put your homework in the group as proof that you did it and get feedback from it. Again, only 7 of us actually did it. But all of us have thriving school communities today because we did that. All of us have thriving communities today because we actually did the work. So, all right, guys, I don't see any more questions. I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here. If you do have any questions, if you see this after the fact and you do have questions, I want you to drop those questions either in the comments of this live or any of my other content. And I have a lot of content on my channel. I have been going live daily and posting a daily video since day 183 of the year. I think we're like 45 days in. So I'm on quite the roll right now. And you can see over the last 30 days, it has increased the size of my channel. But that section of it has not made any money, right? And that's okay, because this is not the primary way that I make money. But if you look, I was going to show you this before. But so I've got all these subscribers, right? This would be my estimated earnings if I was relying on the channel to pay me. So that would mean, are you ready for this? That would mean, and I should probably do my video on this topic today, just to show you how asinine it is to post on social media and hope it's going to pay you. Because it's a lottery ticket at best. There's not a strategy. It's hope. And hope is not a strategy. So stop doing that on social media. Just stop. I spend probably 3.5 to 4 hours a day making content, and I've done that for the last 45 days. And if I were relying on that check, I'd want to quit. But I'm not. Because from school alone, right? Let me just show you this, because I'm pretty proud I hit this milestone. From school alone, just from affiliates, I'm almost to $10,000 in total earnings from affiliates. And that's a combination of recommending people to school as well as all the communities that I am part of. And that's just for that. That does not count the monthly income that I earn from my own community. It does not count that. So, would you rather? Now, do you know how long? Do you have any videos and how many views it would take to earn $10,000? Anybody have a wild guess? I'm going to do the math here. Anybody have a wild guess? All right. So let's divide. Okay, so 10,000 divided by 5, right? Divided by 0.05. That's not right. That's not right. So what would that be? That would be like 1 million views. No, it would be more than 1 million views. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do that math. You know what? I'll do that, and I'll put that in the next video. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up here. I don't see any questions. I hope you guys have a good rest of your Sunday, and we will talk to you tomorrow live here on YouTube for the Cash Flow Path.
Load up the stream. It's a cash flow show. Every day I'm live and I let you know there's a better way to get that we're breaking free from the rented, reaching the